If I had to pick Nintendo's most underappreciated console, I'd probably pick the GameCube. It seems like this thing doesn't get nearly as much attention as it deserves, and even with how much Nintendo loves to dangle nostalgia in front of our faces, they very rarely acknowledge the GameCube or any of the games released on it. However, it seems like that might be starting to change, as recently, more GameCube games have been finding a new home on Nintendo Switch. Super Mario Sunshine got re-released via Super Mario 3D All-Stars, the original Metroid Prime got a full-blown remaster, and Pikmin 1 and 2 both got digitally ported with some HD visual improvements. But let me tell you something. That's not enough. There are many GameCube games that deserve a second chance on modern consoles, so today I'm going to list off the top 5 games that I think should get remastered or at the very least ported on Nintendo Switch. So without further ado, let's go! Starting off this list, I gotta go with FZero GX. I don't understand why Nintendo keeps neglecting F-Zero, even though it has just as much potential as any of their other franchises. I mean, come on, futuristic racing on insanely fast-paced courses? I guarantee people would get into that sort of thing. But if Nintendo just refuses to make a new game in the series, they could at least remake this game and give the franchise some life. FZero GX is a really fun game. It's not nearly as easy to just jump in and play as something like Mario Kart, but once you get a handle for the controls, it's just non-stop action and I love it. There's a bunch of characters and vehicles to go along with them, the tracks are really enjoyable and provide a nice amount of variety, and there's even a story mode with cutscenes and unique missions to tackle. Personally, I'd prefer if Nintendo just made a brand new F-Zero, but if FZero GX got the HD treatment, then I think I can live with it. Now, this next game is probably the most likely to show up on Switch, and that is Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. I may not be the biggest Metroid fan of all time, but the games I have played were really fun and memorable, especially the latest Metroid game, Metroid Prime Remastered. This game was next level awesomeness. I loved exploring this giant planet with tons of places to explore and enemies trying to kill you at every moment, and having the entire game played from a first-person perspective made traversing these environments that much more exciting yet dangerous. So now that we have the first game remastered, it's time for the other games to make their way over as well. Obviously, the graphics would need to be spruced up like the first game, and I would also offer different control options so players can choose how they like to play. Like I said, I think this game has a pretty good chance, especially with Metroid Prime 4 still in development, and with how amazing the first game was, it deserves to come back. Following that, I'm gonna go with a Zelda game, or more specifically, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. At first glance, this might not seem like that big of a title with its more cartoony art style, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. This is a really fun game. It's so lively and has a ton of its own charm. I love exploring these huge areas and finding secrets, and getting to travel to all these places via your boat is so damn satisfying. Kinda like with Metroid, I'm not the biggest Zelda fan out there, but I have a ton of respect for the franchise, and most of the games I've played have been pretty fun. Plus, Nintendo has already re-released Wind Waker before with Wind Waker HD on the Wii U, so it shouldn't be that much trouble porting it over to Switch. Maybe you could swing your Joy-Con like a sword, or maybe tilt them to steer the boat. That would be awesome. Either way, Wind Waker deserves the port to the Switch. It's super underrated, and a game that I think both kids and adults would love. Okay, so maybe I'm being a little biased with this next game, but in my opinion, the original Luigi's Mansion absolutely absolutely needs to be remastered for Switch. Luigi's Mansion took the idea of a typical Mario game and flipped it on its head. Instead of blazing through happy, colorful levels, you explore a dark, creepy mansion, slowly making your way through each room and hunting down any ghosts that might be lurking nearby. It's still a family-friendly game at the end of the day, but it was just spooky enough to be legitimately unsettling at times. It was an incredibly cool and memorable experience, one that deserves to be had by more people on Switch. Technically, this game already got a remake on 3DS, but it was in 2018 when people were over this thing. However, the big reason Luigi's Mansion needs to come back is because Luigi's Mansion 2, or Dark Moon, is getting remastered for Switch. If Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3 are on Switch, but not the original, I am going to be pissed. So for God's sake, Nintendo, bring the first Luigi's Mansion back, please! Even though we've gone through some pretty awesome games so far, none do I want to see come back as much as this one. Not many people have played this game, including myself, but that makes me want to play it even more. And that game is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. Funny enough, despite being hailed by most as the best game in the Paper Mario series, it's the only one I haven't played, and that sucks, because I've seen gameplay footage of this game, and it looks amazing. Exploring these unique, fleshed-out worlds with your vast array of partners, getting to participate in actual RPG battles, and actually level up as you go along, and for a Mario game, Thousand-Year Door has a surprisingly dark tone, and I love it. I've heard some rumors going around that this game might be getting a remaster on Switch. I'm taking these rumors with a grain of salt, but my god, I hope they're true. I want the chance to finally see what I've been missing out on, and if this game is really the masterpiece everyone claims it to be. And you know what? I don't even care if it's a remaster. I just want to see it on Switch. So come on, Nintendo. Let's bring back Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. I'm begging you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then make sure to give it a like, and let me know down in the comments which GameCube games you want to see come back. Also, subscribe to my channel with notifications on, so you'll know when I post more videos like this. Have a great day, stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next one.